Hello, and welcome everybody to yet another video. Today is a little bit different. It's gonna be a new series, Irithar, One Step Forward. Now, you might see here, that the name's a bit different than, say, Haraka Ramal. My Discord server, a Potato Makeover, actually has quite a few DMs in it. I just happen to be one of them. So my campaign that we are just now launching, Echoes of Ragnarok, is just now going live as one of the DMs. That's me. So you all might remember that Haraka Ramal is another series ran by my buddy Gray. So if you guys ever want to ask any questions, get help, or just sit in and listen, you guys are always welcome to join the Discord and, get a vibe for the place. It is pretty chaotic sometimes. I also would like to take this moment to ask you for likes and subscribes. We are still a small channel, and I don't want to get big or anything, but I definitely want to try to reach out to more people and just show them the beauty of D&D, show them the beauty of being a nerd, just have fun. Feel free to check out the links below, guys. Put in the comments what you guys think. And with that, further ado, enjoy this new series.
Welcome to the Potato Call. Family.
When you start to leave the ship, you're kind of looked at kind of side-eyed a little bit, and people kind of furrow their brows looking at you, but shake their heads and kind of just go back about their business. It seems that the city is very much like a buzz currently, and the ports are dealing with a lot of ships coming in and passengers, vessels mostly. It looks like there's a lot of people coming in from different places, and a lot specifically from Tidebreak, that are dropping off various emissaries, presents, gifts, packages of very differing sizes, and it's very clear that something is happening. And as you kind of approach more into the pier and dock, there is talk about the festival that's currently going on in the city, celebrating the Queen's birthday. And as someone refers to her as the Queen, you hear a guard kind of turn and regard them and say, "She is not the Queen, she is the Primus, and you will show her the proper respect." The voice sounds a little bit more robotic in nature, and it turns its head and continues walking as this person kind of flinches at them speaking. As they weren't really being disrespectful, they sounded more like, "Oh my god, it's the Queen's birthday," excited for it. And this guard kind of shut them down and shut down their excited attitude real quick. But he seems to march off, focused on other things at the moment. But yeah, it's clear that this is a busy day celebrating the Queen's birthday.
Lovely. Okay. She's sure really where to go from here.
The groups of people that are leaving the passenger vessels seem to be kind of hoarding in towards the city and walking in a large group. Some of the younger elves are seem more excited to go towards the festival and are it's sounding like that's where they're headed, is to the festival itself.
I guess for now she will try and blend in with the group and follow them along.
Great. Give me a dex save.
Okay. Man, no plus 10?
How unfortunate.
Oh my gosh.
As you turn to walk with the group, you are immediately slapped in the face with a piece of paper that just kind of covers and hugs over your face, and you see that there are a bunch of these now flying out towards the pier, as a bunch of papers have been discarded into the city streets, and the wind has kicked them up. The paper, of course, is the one that everyone else has been described as a invitation from the queen herself, hastily and poorly written. Very clear she did not handwrite it herself, but the message is the same, that in honor of our Primus, they're holding an event of unnamed variety down in the more undergrowth of the city, detailing how to get there, and that there is a special prize for the winner of said event. It does not describe what the event is, but as a more educated individual with a bit of better knowledge on history of the First Kingdom, you would know that, again, like what I said, the queen, whenever she gives out presents and gifts or rewards, it's a big deal. And people definitely... It becomes more clear why the city is busy. As far as like coming from other countries, people would travel long distances like this from other places if it meant getting a reward from the queen potentially, just by how sought after these things are.
All right. Well, she will grumble and growl and essentially read the paper, toss it over her shoulder, and then continue to follow with the group.
Fair enough. Walking through the city, same thing as described before. There are vendors and people selling and bartering and trading for things. You see a jewelry salesman that seems a bit sad as one of his prized necklaces has gone missing, and his wife is currently yelling at him over the loss of one of her pearl necklaces that was apparently stolen earlier in the day. She does not seem very happy with him, but continuing to move through the city.
Yep, because I don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
I will keep my eye out to see if I can spot the necklace, though.
Fair enough.
Nope.
At some
Fuck
point.
that
Give
shit
me-
out.
You don't really see... I mean, there's some people that are wearing pearl necklaces, but you don't see anything that like sticks out as weird or anything.
Oh well. I'll keep
yeah.
my eye out still.
And then moving towards our undercity itself. As we kind of enter this now very grungy, like the music vibe is completely different down here. It's more heavy metal and rock, and there's almost like a coliseum that has been built underneath the city that has been here for as long as the city has been here. Some people say that this was here before the city above was, and the city above replaced this area. This is known as Old Aether Forge. It is the underground space that the more not kind individuals tend to frequent. And inside this Colosseum, there is a lot of dust being kicked up. There are the loud roars of metallic beasts that are currently encircling the outer area of this Colosseum. There's this chugging of machinery as fires and engines of steam and metal and rock and stone are churning and producing energy. And sitting in one of these machines is Mr. Earl Grey. If you'd like to describe your character.
Alrighty, so in this rust bucket of a vehicle he is driving is a 7'2" large red-headed bugbear, very heavy set. As he is driving this vehicle one-handed, the other hand he has his always on hand tankard as he is just chugging a full pint of ale from it.
Jeez.
All of it just going all over his face. He doesn't care. He is not giving two shits.
there's a bunch of people in the stands going, Churchill, Churchill, Churchill. And they have like these really big barrels of like ale that have been kind of turned into like the Disneyland collectible cups that are just like, they're empty, but they have like your name written across them. And they're like, I fucking love this dude. And like, somebody next to him was like, I love him more. It's like, fuck you, asshole. And they start getting into a fucking fist fight in the middle of the stands. And the crowd loves this shit. Go ahead and give me.
Oh my god, we have we have our own like underground pop star. What the fuck?
No, not pop star.
Dude, that's fucking Churchill.
Dude, that's fucking Churchill, dude.
I took one of his axles off his fucking car before.
Bro, I fucking hit his bong once, dude.
Fuck you, dude.
What do you want me to roll?
I'm trying to decide what kind of fucking roll this would be. I want to say intelligence.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, clearly.
He's not dumb. He's an artificer. He's
Yeah,
not
I
dumb.
want to say
He's just
intelligence
so
with
fucked
disadvantage
up.
because you're drinking.
Alrighty. Let's see it.
What the fuck is going
Now
on?
one! Let's go!
Okay.
He's just gonna raise that tankard up. Kylie distracted from driving as he sees his fans fighting.
Jesus.
Just looking to them. Boys! You enjoy this wonderful night. And he just starts chugging. Once again, not paying attention to the road, to the course.
You start chugging. You hit a turn way later than you should have. Your car scrapes, like this buggy scrapes against the stone of the Coliseum, and you like hit the wall. And you drop your like one of your smaller casks of ale, and then there's just a very loud, abrupt explosion behind you as you're driving away, and a like gasp from the crowd, and everything goes silent, and then there's one single voice that's like, fuck yeah, Churchill, and then the crowd goes fucking nuts as a car behind you has exploded from hitting that fucking keg.
Oh my god.
Like full Donkey Kong style.
At this happening, Churchill hitting the wall, scraping against it, has like the slight self-internalized moment of, oh fuck, I need to pay attention. Realizing it's fallen, seeing the explosion behind, looks behind him, goes, oh, and just kind of looks back and forward a bit like this now, just like, perhaps I need to secure my drinks better next time.
Your cart, this is not your first or second buggy. This is one that you know very well was just found in pieces and welded together last minute to make sure you could make this fucking race because of how dangerous and irresponsible your driving is. But because the fans love you so much and you've won so much, they continue to let you drive for some fucking reason.
I fucking love this.
It's just very common knowledge that not only are you a good driver, you're a good drunk driver. And so they're not fucking like surprised at all. But you definitely have like a pit team, and the pit chief is looking at you from like this little wooden what the fuck is it called?
A shack?
No, kind of like a podium. It's scaffolding. Like it's like a wooden scaffolding that's been like put together, and he's standing at the top shaking his head at you with the most like annoyed face, and kind of like looks down towards the team and like gives a signal that they're gonna need another fucking car. Using thaumaturgy on his throat though, instead of having like microphones, tells you like you need to come in for the fucking change. Like you need your tires changed now. Like, and looking back at your like where you dropped the keg off, you see that one of your wheels is barely hanging on from the cask hitting it as you dropped it. So like it hit your wheel, rolled back, and exploded. Underneath another car behind you. So your wheel is currently like wobbly on the left inner side.
How many laps we got left? I need to know.
You have 5 laps left, but you don't have enough time to get through these 5. Jeez.
A moment of thinking. Perhaps I can.
Don't you fucking do it. Just come get your tire changed. It's not that fucking serious.
No, I gotta do this, man.
He turns to the other crew, like the rest of the crew, and throws his hands up and like, I fucking can't do this shit.
Quick question for the race. How is magic viewed in this race?
Well, you blew somebody up and the crowd cheered, so you fucking tell me what you think is
all right. Fair enough. I'm just asking.
What a response!
A man is dead.
All right, he is going to. Where is it? I know I have mending.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his beer, starts trying to mend with the beer onto the tire.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna cast mending on the wheel. As he drives with one hand, awkwardly leaning down to the side of the car, deciding, oh yeah, I got this, don't worry, Chief. I can handle this thing. It ain't a problem at all.
Roll me a d6.
A D6.
Yeah.
Okay. A 4.
Okay, you take 4 points of damage as you reach back and mend this thing. Mending is a touch spell, and that's a wheel that is moving. So you are rubbing your hand against a moving wheel on your car. You're getting a little bit of rug burn on your, or fucking road rash on your hand as you're doing this.
Right.
You get the wheel shoved back into its like socket essentially, and it's back running normally, but your hand burns.
So what he's gonna do? He's gonna take the hand that's hurting, hold like the front wheel. You know when you hold it with your palm. So he's not like touching it with his fingers. He's gonna take his current beer tabard of plenty and just start pouring the booze over his fingers to cool it down.
Jesus. That shit's gonna burn a little bit.
Yeah.
It's another D6.
Jesus Christ.
It's a fresh wound that you're pouring straight up alcohol on.
That's sterilization. The booze will also sterilize the wound, Chief, don't worry.
It burns, but it's not like getting worse at the moment, at least.
It burns so
crew
good.
chief is definitely like. The crew chief is definitely like sitting down on the scaffolding, not even watching the race, like head in his hand now, just like, oh, I'm so fucking. I need to get into a new profession.
Yeah,
I went to university. I went to college, by the way. What the fuck am I doing?
My mama said I could be anything, but no, I'm sitting here babysitting this fucker.
Literally, like, oh my god. With a little bit of rusties and a whole lot of fuck this guy, you could be like. I'll tell you what happens first, and then what would have happened after. So what actually happens? You hear like the over a thaumaturged voice say, "Last lap, racers," from one of the announcers, and you quickly see the finish line approaching as you start to make your final turns, knowing that you are in one of the top 3 spots currently, as you blew up the car directly behind you, which caused a little bit of a fucking pile up, took out a few racers, not just the one, and you can see that their carts are being hauled off of the racetrack by these large mechanized human-shaped constructs that are just dragging the carts with just their hands into little garages that have been built into the walls of this area. So you know that you're within the top 3. Where you stand is kind of hard to tell because of how close everyone is and how intoxicated you are.
Let me count. 1, 2. Oh, right, this hand hurts.
Yeah. One of the racers in front of you is a drow woman that is driving a pretty nice buggy. It is not like yours where it's welded together and just kind of staple gunned in place. It looks like it was made by an artificer for this kind of environment. She is well known for not driving the most clean, and has definitely killed a few people in these races. She wears a helmet that covers most of her face and almost looks more like a Tron mask than it does like an actual helmet. But it's like a motorcycle helmet almost. And wears light armor that you can tell has been like laced with something underneath that gives it a bit of extra protection. She is the car in front of you, as she pulls out a oddly shaped weapon from down inside the buggy and points it at the cart in front of her. You can't see her like mouth move, but you can tell that like the way she's moving her head, she's talking, and the car in front of her like reaches back and flips her off. Or like the person driving flips her off, and like is laughing at her. And this weapon that she pulled almost looks like a wand, but it's made of like metal and crystal. But as he flips her off, a bolt of lightning comes flying out of the wand, blows his hand off of his like wrist, and zaps into the buggy itself and almost EMPs it. And immediately the car like slows almost to a halt, and flips in front of you and rolls. The guy is ejected from the car and it lands on top of him as it continues rolling. And she just like turns over her shoulder and looks at you, shakes her head, and then just keeps driving forward, kind of not acknowledging you, but also aware of your presence directly behind her.
Seeing this happening, Churchill is going to try to turn to the right, trying to avoid the car as it tumbles and hitting the driver. He looks over, kind of. He's hurt people, probably killed people in this race. He doesn't try to do it intentionally a lot of the time, though.
You just blew someone up.
That was an accident.
Tell it to the sponsors.
And he's gonna look at him just like, sorry, mate. Better luck next time, though. And just keep driving past.
Better luck next time to the fucking potentially dead guy is crazy.
He feels a little bad, but he's like, it's a race. It's violent. They don't care. It's what you do.
Murder,
so
murder.
As you're driving, you hear the sounds. Well, actually, I'm gonna pause here as you're driving through this race. Let's see. It's Lyria, right? Is that how you say it? Lyria and Alvin. You both find yourself walking through the sewers and eventually coming into this area, where it's a large Colosseum type space with these machines of various types and value driving through in a derby style race. The two names that you hear kind of being chanted are Churchill and Swift Grace. So it's like Churchill, Swift Grace. So Alvin, Alvin, give me a history check. Let's see.
Oh god.
Yeah, I know you're not the smartest little guy, but 15. The name Swift Grace kind of rings a bell. You know that they are a racer that's pretty good at it. and you know that they tend to fight a little dirty when it comes to their races. The name Churchill definitely rings a bell, mostly because when you walk into a tavern, there is a special that's written called the Churchill, and it is just a way of people ordering a barrel of ale. That's all it is just an entire barrel of ale.
Slogan sponsor is drinks this after every win.
Yeah.
You could be a champion too.
It comes in like a commemorative barrel, with his fucking name written on it. But yeah, you two see this race going on, and Lyria, you catch the sight of Swift Grace shooting this bolt of lightning out of her wand, and
Just too short to see it, or what?
kind of, yeah. It's like one of those situations of like a kid being at Disneyland trying to see through the adults to the parade. You're just like kind of climbing up on people like, let me see, like, but eventually you can. There's like a little stand that
Someone
people.
found me a box.
It's a
Yeah, people give you a box. Yeah, but no, there's the bench, like the bleachers, that you're able to stand on and see, like, kind of between people, glimpses of the buggies as they're going past. But Lyria, you do catch that the person known as Swift Grace points a wand out and electrifies the cart, and you very well can tell that the person in the cart died when they were crushed by their fucking car, because that shit is not light and that person was not big. But as you're kind of like walking around or like looking around, there are a lot of people down here. And Alvin, in the handful of times that you may have like been in this area, it's never been like this packed. As you all are down here, you see the cart, or like the buggy that Swift Grace is driving, is a like jet black metallic painted derby cart, with her name spray painted in like purple and green colors across the side, in almost like a graffiti tag art style, and it says like across the hood the words "The Spear." You, Churchill, would know that when it comes to the final lap of the race is typically when Swift Grace tends to be the most willing to pull some fuck shittery. Whether it's with the like cart, whether it's with her herself, it's usually like the last lap where she pulls out some bullshit ass trick to secure her victory. As you start to approach like the last lap, you catch her once again looking over her shoulder, and then she taps the side of her cart, and you see like a little trap door open right above where her trunk would be, on the top part of the car, and a small like animal looking creature made out of metal and robotic parts kind of crawls its way out in the shape of like a little, almost looks like a monkey, but its arms are slightly like longer than its body, so it could be almost mistaken for a bugbear of a really small, like less than a foot tall, tinkered together like little toy,
Like a false bugbear type.
Yeah.
Deal.
But it like climbs out of this little trapdoor box, and just kind of looks like its body is facing back towards you. And as you start to approach, like behind her, it pushes off the trunk and launches itself towards you. You can make a dex check to try and avoid it, but it is currently like flying in the air towards you in your direction.
All right. I'm just looking at what I have real quick, like reaction wise.
You're good.
All I have is opportunity dex. Yeah, I'll take a dex check.
Okay.
15.
Cool. You watch as this thing like flies past your head as you kind of like turn your head to the side. It would have hit you fully in the face, but you're able to like dodge to the side of it. But you hear it like grab onto and scrape behind you on like the metal as it's now latched onto your cart itself and begins climbing into like where you're seated, down by like your pedals and gear shifts.
So as I'm hearing this, he's gonna turn around, seeing this little fucker, and then is going to kind of hearing this thing scream like, what are these things again? He's gonna take his tankard of ale, push it down on the gas pedal so that way it's continuing to go.
Okay.
And he's gonna turn, pick his foot up. You're gonna get off my damn ride, you little monk. And he's just gonna try to fucking kick this thing right in the face.
Unarmed attack.
19.
Cool.
One
as
damage.
You like punt this thing. I mean, you don't really need to do damage. You're kicking off a moving vehicle. You kick it off, and it hits the wall and like breaks into small pieces as it connects with the wall, leaving little trails of metallic scrap behind. And you see that Swift kind of just shakes her head, just kind of like, ugh, this is so fucking irritating, and continues driving. You see that she pulls her wand once more, not aimed at you though, now aiming it at the wall next to you two, and shoots a bolt into the wall, and there's a subtle shake for a second, and then a large burst as the wall like conclaves in towards the track, pushing like rubble and stone and dust and rock into your path.
Like a explosion or like a shape earth type?
Like an explosion. Like she blew up the
Okay.
wall and is putting rock in your way.
Okay. Do you want me to do any rules for trying to dodge this, or?
It's up to you on how you want to get around it.
All right.
If you're trying to dodge it, you can. If you have another means of wanting to get past it, you can do that too.
What do I have that can get me around this? So, seeing this, Churchill, he wants to fucking win this thing. He's gonna be the champ here. He wants to win it. So he's going to use his Rune Shaper feat to cast the Long Strider on the car, and then going to activate the front lever as he does to deploy whatever front trap he has. So what would you like me to roll?
So now give me a dex save with advantage.
Alrighty. Ooh, an 8.
Okay. So as you pull this lever, you see and hear a small crackle of fire from the front of your engine, and it almost seems like your engine is catching fire for a second, and then the front fender kind of opens like a mouth, and this ball of fire comes crackling outwards, blowing part of the rock up, and a small explosion blowing the dust from the space. It doesn't clear all of it, but you are able to land without breaking anything, but you are falling behind now as you like lost a bit of speed.
I'm also just imagining as he's like going through it, he's hitting all the rocks. He's trying to hold his tankard on one hand to it. It's just beer, ale going everywhere. Just
Yeah, it's definitely like a washboard road. There's a lot more chance
on this thing.
There are currently a lot more chance for Swiftgate as the race is slowly dwindling down.
It's come to my attention that this is the end of the video. Well, if that is the case, go like and sub.